Rock stars, Eric Andres, your guitar sage here, and today we're going to be talking about a really cool technique called the pick rake. It's not hard to do. You'll hear pros do it all the time, and it sounds really cool. It sounds like you're wicked fast, and when in fact it's just a little trick, okay? Now, it does take a little getting used to, but way less time than it would be for you to be able to pick these notes out individually using, say, like an alternate picking technique, you know? What a pick rake is essentially is when you take your pick and you pick across several strings in that sort of motion, okay? Kind of like you're raking leaves, okay? Doesn't sound super impressive like this. However, when you're playing a lead, okay, so now how do we do this? Well, with the picking hand, it's fairly easy. The only thing you're doing is you're picking a starting note and you're picking an ending note, and that's easy enough. Usually you're talking about 2, 3, 4 strings. That's the usual average. Somewhere around there, probably about 3 strings. It's gonna be the average. 2 strings, you can do it, you know, but it's gonna have more of an effect, you know, if you're doing more than that. So like I can do 2, you know, if I did 2 strings, it might sound like. So you hear that ba-dap, you know. Okay, now, three notes. Hear that? So that's 3 notes as well. And here's 4. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to basically have a miniature chord set up. Okay, what I mean by that is a miniature chord is like, let's say we're doing Stairway to Heaven, right? You got, well, that's a A minor chord, okay, right there. So basically what Jimmy was doing here is he was taking the top 4 strings of that A minor chord, and he was going, you know? So I'm just taking that bit right there, and that'd be a great rake. In fact, that's one of the rakes I was doing just now. It's just an A minor shape. I didn't really take it from Jimmy because he didn't do a pick rake there. But it's just a form that happens on the guitar, you know what I mean? So that'd be a perfect one, you know? Here's another one. You can take any one of those. You know, you can take any one of those. So basically you're taking a fraction of a chord, a portion of a chord. And in fact, I cover something similar in the effing F chord. So for those that are trying to learn that F chord, basically I break it down to what I call mini chords, you know, which is like taking this 6-note chord, but then breaking it down into 2-bite segments and then 3-note segments. That sort of thing, and then 4 and 5 and that sort of thing, and basically building your way up to playing this full chord, effing F chord, E-F-F-I-N-G, here on YouTube. And so basically we're doing that same technique, or at least taking a portion of the chord, and that's the way you're going to think about this. So for instance, if I was playing in the key of A minor, I got this little bit right here. So here's my 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string, and then my 1st finger is going to bar strings 1, 2, and 3. Now, when you're doing this, there's a couple things that you're going to have to be aware of, and it's not going to happen for you at first. I can promise you that. I'll bet big money on it, in fact, that it won't happen for you at first. That's why you're here watching this video, and then you're going to practice it. You're going to get frustrated because it doesn't sound like mine. It's okay, because I've practiced this particular thing more than you probably, so it's okay. And the guys that are even better at it than me, which I'm not super good at it, but the guys that are better than me have practiced it more, okay? So it's all about practice. Now, but there are some things that we got to know, some little tricks. So here, again, we're when you're doing this with your pick, you want to make sure that you're not having to think about it. So just practicing the rake should be literally that easy. You shouldn't have to think about it. You're not thinking about individual notes no more than you'd be thinking about individual leaves when you were raking them. You're just raking, you know? So take the pick. You kind of want it to be sideways. So for instance, you know, here, instead of like this or dug in, we don't want to be digging into the strings like this. We want the strings to graze off of the pick. So having it somewhat of a sideways angle is going to help. It could be flat sideways. It could be this kind of sideways, you know. But nonetheless, you're wanting the string to graze off of the pick very easily, okay? Now, with that being said, that's the right hand technique, okay? And that's literally all you're going to be doing there with the right hand or the picking hand. With the fretting hand, you need to set your chord up, okay? We got that part down, right? But the other thing is we kind of need to roll our hand with this technique to some degree. I said that was the only thing that we were doing with the picking hand. It's not. We're also doing a bit of muting, okay? So this takes a little getting used to. But as the notes are being sounded, you're basically going to roll your hand as well in order to mute those notes. It's not completely necessary because you'll usually mute notes automatically as you're moving towards the higher strings. But it is a technique that that you will have to develop and get used to. Okay, so for instance, if I were to play this rake right here, I'm going to go. Now notice if I don't do that, if I don't actually roll my fingers over here, then I'll get this sound, which is just playing a chord. We want it to arpeggiate. So what you want to get used to doing is after you play the note, you lift that finger up. So I'm rolling. Here, 4 individual notes there. Makes sense? So now that would be, you know, one that you could do, or you could just say take these 3 notes right here. This note here in the beginning may throw you off, so you could take these 3 notes and go. But notice that we're not sounding it out. We're muting right away. So I'm also, when I go to pick that first note, that one, my thumb is automatically muting those notes, all of them. So I'm going. Make sense? So you can do this with anything. Take any form. Take you know, like a D minor. This one may be easier for you because you've got these fingers like in a stair, you know, like a set of stairs, and you can go. That was the first one I ever did. And you'll hear guitar players like David Gilmour and a myriad of different guitar players do this, but David does it a lot and does it in Comfortably Numb. You know, the chord's a D, and he goes. Except I think he may grab a note that's even lower. I'd have to do it on the electric, but it's like. Yeah, etc. So you've got that sound in your ear, and you're like, oh, that's what he's talking about. That's the pick rake. That is the pick rake, all right? So here's the deal. Let me pre-warn you here. You're going to get frustrated doing this because it's a new technique. And it just feels so like it's there, but it just doesn't happen sometimes in the beginning, okay? So take your time with this. Slow and steady wins the race. You can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. I don't possess any particular prowess other than just from practice, and that's 99.9% of 100% of all people, okay? It's all people. You practice, you get good. You don't practice, you don't get good. Never known a guitar player, great guitar player, who ever got there by just being born with it. It's bullcrap. It doesn't happen. It happens through hard work. Sorry for those of you that just want to take a minute and get good at guitar, and I know you're going to give me a big thumbs down for saying that, but that's okay, because I'm Mr. Honest, right? And I got to be honest with you. I want to save you time. If you want to play guitar, you want to be good, you got to put the work in. You got to practice, okay? So, that's all right. I'm willing to lose some subscribers just to be honest. It's the way I am. All right, my friends, I'm here to help you out. Thumbs up, subscribe, you know the drill. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and all those places. Leave your comments below. Would love to help you out there. I'm here to help you. I want you to play guitar. How many different ways can I say it, my friend? I've got books for you. I've got free books. YourGuitarSage.com/30 is the free course. Top 30 lessons I teach all my students here in Nashville. The link for that's below. As always, my friends, be kind to all beings. Don't trust the man. Practice your guitar, and I'll see you in the next video.